Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. And tonight, the West Side happens to be the Dolphin Den. Hey, stay tuned. We got a wonderful show coming up. We're going to recap the Westchester game, and then we're going to preview the Venice game. So right after our interview, of course, we're going to talk about the rivalry. Thanks, Tom, for being here. So after the intro, come on back, and we're going to get into it. All right. So thanks for coming on today.
Hey, win on me, win on three, ready, 1, 2, 3. Win! Oh, yeah! Stop playing with a piece! 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 Stop playing with a piece!
Some call it the gridiron.
Nice route, way to skim it.
Others, 100 yards of pain.
Too much.
We just like to call it football.
Football.
With Facebook James.
Football, baby.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I believe that's what they call it. Today is Wednesday, and so if you're hopefully you're doing well today. But welcome to the show. If you happen to be watching live, you can go ahead and drop a couple of comments like some of our people have already done. So let me go ahead and, I got some new digs over here, and hopefully you kind of like them. I was inspired by our former Pali varsity head coach, and just saw some stuff on his podcast. And I was like, you know what? Let me switch it up a little bit. So shout out to Coach Hyde. He hosts a podcast with a whole bunch of his Irish Notre Dame fans over there. So just kind of got inspired and just kind of created some new scenes. So that's kind of what we're doing tonight. And so we have some of our favorite people already in the house. So let's go ahead and shout out Miss Maureen LaScala. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're doing well on this Wellness Wednesday. And she says, go Pali. And then, of course, I'll just double check and making sure all of these socials, the comments are coming through. So it looks like a pod of angry dolphins. To that, Maureen replies, dolphins don't get mad. They're happy fish. Well, we need some angry fish this coming Friday. We don't need the happy. We need the angry, determined Dolphins to do something, because this is a rivalry week. And Tom Michael knows all about that Pali Venice rivalry week. So thank you, Tom, for hopping on and just joining us tonight, man. It's been a crazy day, and so hopefully your day has gone well. I don't want to talk about my day, but I'm grateful for being here, for being alive, and all that kind of good stuff. So just a crazy day at school and working with my students. But thank you guys for being here. And you know what? Do us a favor. Right now, you can also share on your social media platforms this particular live stream. And, we'll go for about 30-40 minutes or so, long enough for Coach to get, tired of talking about Pali and Venice and Westchester and all that kind of good stuff. I know Michael will never get tired of talking about Venice. So we thank you, Maureen and Tom, for being here. So let's go ahead and get a couple of updates out of the way real quick before we hop in and have Coach come and join us. So, of course, this coming Friday, I did put the correct date. Yes, October 20th, Friday at Venice High School. JV game goes down at 4 o'clock at Venice, and then the varsity contest will go down at 7 p.m. as well. So from what I understand, they have a brand new track, and so we're kind of anxious to go over there and do what we need to do. And we'll kind of get into what this really means for our football team and what it also means for Venice. They're 3-0, we're 3-0. So you kind of know what I'm getting at. So it's going to be a wonderful game. So we want everyone to come on out. Hopefully, I think some information has already been sent out as it relates to just the decorum and conduct and how Venice wants their fans to behave. And I'm not too sure about the ticket information. I'm not too sure if they have GoFan, but I'm sure as our responsible people who send out the information, the Pali QB Club, they're going to send out that information in terms of tickets. And so, if it's going to be GoFan or if you can purchase the tickets there in person. So, kind of like Westchester, I think they had some kind of ticketing situation over there. It wasn't GoFan, it was something else. But hopefully, as soon as we get the information, we'll send it out to you guys. And then also next week, we really want to hype up next week as well. Is our senior night, and so I know all about senior night. I've participated in 1, 2, 3 senior nights, and you kind of know what I mean when you see the video a little bit later on. But yeah, we really want to celebrate all of our seniors. Those guys have put in a lot of time, whether it's their first year playing varsity football or, maybe if they played 3 years. And so we really want to celebrate those seniors and, let them know how much they are appreciated by playing and participating on the team. And so parents, if you're watching this, it is very important for you to get there. Now, the celebration is going to take place between the JV game and the varsity game, right? So there's not a whole bunch of time, but the timeline kind of goes like this, just kind of going from past years. 6:15, we're hoping that all the parents can gather there. I know it's a Friday night. It's going to be traffic coming up to Mescal or wherever you're coming from. And so you really want to plan to be there by 6:30. Now, everything is going to start around 6:45. They're going to call all of the parents down. We're going to have banners for the players to just to say thank you and just kind of remember them. And don't worry, it will be a keepsake. You will receive those banners probably at the banquet later on in December. And so we want you guys to come on out if you're a parent. It's really, really important because we've had instances where some of our players didn't have their family members there at the time. When we had our celebration, they got there slightly afterwards. And so that's not a good look. So please, if you can, if you're a parent, you have a player on the team, we really, really encourage you to be there around 6:15, no later than 6:30, because once things start going, it's kind of hard to stop and start and wait for parents. So please, 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 you want to get there on time and celebrate with your seniors. All right. So other than that, man, I think I'm good to go. I think we're ready to kind of recap our varsity football game. And before I get into the varsity contest, you know what? Our JV team, they won. I actually went out and did that game. That game is posted on our YouTube channel. I forgot the score, but I know we did win. That's the important thing. We did win. And so congratulations to the varsity squad. And I'll try to pull up their record as well. I'm on Max Preps right now, but I have it set up for the varsity squad. But I'll pull it up during our conversation with Coach. So hats off to the coaching staff for JV. It was kind of close a little bit, and it kind of got chippy a little bit. But, yeah, we did prevail. And so congratulations to our JV football team. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and invite Coach Smith into the conversation. So Coach Smith, what's going on, sir? How you feeling?
Feeling great. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. It's another Wellness Wednesday over here in the Riley, what I call Riley world. And so hopefully everything is going well with you. I'm sure you've had a great 2 days of practice. We were talking about some of the happenings that happened on Monday. But I think even you even said that you were kind of nervous Monday and Tuesday. Have your nerves kind of calmed down now that it's Wednesday and we're kind of getting closer and closer to game time?
My nerves will calm down when the clock hits 0 Friday night and we're winning. That's when my nerves will calm down. So,
Absolutely.
No, I get nervous. Monday and Tuesday practices wasn't the way I wanted to. Today we had a great practice. I felt a little better than I did last night. But obviously, the nerves won't go away until we win. So, ask me again Friday night.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, before we even talk about the rivalry game, let's go ahead and recap our game against Westchester. Now, we were actually able to pull off a win, man. It was a good win. And I'm trying to pull up the score right here. 37. Was that
6?
37-6.
Yeah, 37-6.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And the game, man, help me out because the game started off slow. I don't know if it was the field being kind of muddy and wet because it wasn't like that the day before.
Mhm.
But just
A little trickery going on.
yeah, a little trickery, a little trickeration. It was a sloppy game in the first half. A lot of
Yeah.
calls, man. So how did you guys kind of prevail? Well, not kind of. How did you guys prevail with the 37-6 a win over Westchester?
You know, it's weird because we played at 7 o'clock all year. Um, this was a day game. You know, we just finished eating lunch before we got on the bus. It was a long, hot, not too long, but a nice little long bus ride. It was hot. We got off. We didn't even get to do our walkthrough because the bus kind of ran late. So it kind of took us out of our routine a little bit. As soon as we got to the school, we had to get dressed and then get straight to the stretch line. So I think our routine was off a little bit with the early start and the late bus. And first half was kind of us trying to get a feel of the game and get going. And then second half, I just told them like this is our league championship right now. If we don't turn it around, we're not going to win league. So I think the kids got the message. Second half, we finally woke up and we adjusted a little bit. They came out and did some stuff we weren't expecting, and I think that was part of it too. And we adjusted very well to their game plan, and kids executed it, and we just dominated second half.
No, it was a very like I said kind of sloppy game, full of penalties.
Yeah, yeah,
And even some of the coaches were saying, the boys were kind of excited to play in the mud. When I walked on the field pregame, some of their uniforms were dirty, very dirty, and not from playing because, of course, they hadn't played yet, but because they had to stretch and
right.
lay down and kind of do what they need to do during the pregame. And he was just saying, some of the coaches were just saying, assistant coaches were just saying, well, they were kind of surprised that they get to play in the mud, and they were kind of taken back a little bit. So that might have contributed to the headspace that they were, trying to figure out, okay, this is of course not Pali, it's not turf, it's essentially mud and a little bit of grass, right?
Right.
So maybe
Yeah.
that kind of played into some of their mindsets before, once they got off the bus.
Yeah, they were they were like, ooh, we had this stretch in the mud. They were they were concerned, a little too concerned with the mud and the white
Right,
jerseys. So
right,
I was like, we're at a football game, not a fashion show. So let's get
absolutely.
over it and let's play. So I told them right before we went out, I said, no more talk about the mud. It is what it is. They got to play in it, so do we. So let's move on.
Yeah, and then in fact, I believe they scored the first touchdown of the game, and I was kind of, not shocked, but just kind of like, okay, here we go. They had,
Right.
I believe it was in the first quarter, that they scored. Let me double check over here, that they scored. And I'll
Second
just
quarter.
second quarter. Let me pull up my.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so neither one of our scores did what was necessary. I just had the final score, but yeah. So second quarter, we really couldn't get into a good groove. But the second half, the boys
Yeah.
came out, and so it must have been something that you said during halftime to get them kind of fired up, ready to go. And we actually went ahead and scored the next 37 points without them scoring anything. So just kind of talk about the
Yeah.
mindset at halftime and just how they, kind of gelled together and did what they needed to do to win the football game.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like we said, we came out sloppy. We're, just kind of slow. And then when they scored, I didn't say anything. I wanted to see who was going to step up and be a leader. And, I heard Braden on the sideline, other guys on the sideline say, hey, this game's not over. It's just 6 points. Let's keep going. And like I said earlier, we adjusted what they were doing. We're trying to establish the run a little bit. They knew we were going to run the ball. They stacked the box. So we just went empty, spread them out. Roman was able to run the ball very well. We were able to move him out of the pocket, and he found Braden a few times and found the Henry. So we were able to spread the ball around and get him moving in space. And so I think just part of it was our adjustment. And then at halftime, I just said, look, if we lose this game, we're not winning league. And uh, um, defense really stepped up, shut them down the whole second half. And those guys, those leaders just stepped up and made plays when we needed to.
Yeah, it seems to me, just a casual fan, it seems to me that you kind of went away a little bit more from your running game, and really, Roman was passing a little bit more than I expected, based on our conversation before, in terms of being a real bona fide running team. And so, just from the casual eye, I'm just like, oh, coach is not running the ball as much. He like trying to get some points up in there. So, was that kind of your mindset as you prepare for Westchester?
Yeah, watching film, I felt like we could throw short passes in the flats and, keep the defense guessing. But like I said, they were really stacking the box. Every time we went, and they did a great job scouting us. Every time we went into a certain formation, they would shift their line over and really try to stop our running game. And, as much as we forced it against Hamilton, I felt like we could pass the ball more this week, or get Roman out in space and open it up for him. So, the game plan wasn't to stop the run. I just felt like, or stop running. I just felt like they were really focusing on stacking the box, stopping us from running, and we just had to, at some point you have to pass the ball. We're not Granada Hills or Brigantine team. We got to be able to pass the ball at some point. So, opening it up, getting Roman confidence, letting him, be an athlete. So we did that. It worked. We're going to go back to running the ball again this week and, pick our spots passing the ball. So, like I said, we're just working on being a balanced team.
Yeah, I think, with Roman's speed, there were several times when, he had to call his own number, and, he had a lot of positive yards. Anxious to see, I hadn't looked at some of his stats, like I normally do pregame. So let me see if they're.
But not up yet. Sorry.
Coach, come on, man. You got to help me out, man.
It's hard when there's no lines and no numbers. You got to count every. I mean, it's very difficult when there's no lines and no numbers. So
I know.
Hamilton and Westchester will be up.
Yes, no problem. No, and I get it because even from from my standpoint, walking, on the sidelines, it was hard to see, where the 20 was, where the 30, where the 50 was, even where the goal line. Only reason I knew where the goal line was because of the markers, right there on the edge of the goal line. And so, no, I get it. I get it. That's a hard field to really, calculate, yards like that, because it's very, very hard to see the numbers. And so, one thing I do want to talk about is your boy Braden.
Sorry.
No, you get. One thing I do want to talk about is Braden, just his ability, and Roman's ability to find him, and he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was very happy to see that. They work together a lot out the field, and their chemistry is really good. And Roman knows what spots Braden's going to go to, and if Braden sees something, he'll come back and tell Roman, this is what I see, this is where I get the ball, or this is where, the hole is. So they really work hard. And, I had a talk with Braden this week in practice, and, it's like, whatever, coach, whatever, I don't care if I get the ball or not. If I have to block, let me block. Put me in a position to make plays for whoever has the ball. So he really worked hard this week, and just trying to rally this team together and win. So I was happy to see he seemed kind of down a little bit this week, but I was happy to see him have a really good game, and you could tell the spirits were up.
Yeah, definitely. And, I had a chance to interview someone. You know what? Instead of me talking about, let me go ahead and just roll tape. I had a chance, again, to talk to Braden after the game. So these are his thoughts right after the Westchester victory this past Friday. Hey, what's going on? This is Mr. Roddy coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast. And tonight I have, how did you do it? 1, 2, 3 touchdown, man. Mr. Braden Stanford, number 11. Man, first of all, congratulations, dude. It was a hard-fought game. You guys started off small. Tell us kind of what you saw at the beginning of the game before you guys kind of started scoring, points against Westchester.
So, obviously the first one is this condition. Like, this is like a mud bath pretty much on the field. So we started out a little slow trying to figure out what scheme we were going to use and what Coach Smith was going to do, but regrouped in the second half and we just came out swinging.
Absolutely. So you were able to get 7 points in the first half, and then you guys came out blazing, man. You scored 31 points, I believe. or 32. I don't know. You scored 30-something points in the second half. Man, tell us what the key was for you. I know a couple of plays. You were getting frustrated because you weren't getting the ball, you weren't catching the ball where you wanted to. Just kind of tell us about your mindset when those things were happening to you during the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when stuff like that's happening where you, as a receiver, you feel like you're open and you don't get the look, or then you finally get the look and you drop one. It's important to hold your composure in those moments because, I mean, everyone's got something they're complaining about out here, and at the end of the day, we just got to put the points on the board.
Absolutely. And then, I think during one point in the live stream, you caught a ball that was or you tried to catch a ball, pass, it was incomplete. And you was like, I think you said something like, I suck or something.
Yeah, I said I'm a loser.
Yeah, I'm a loser. And I'm like, no, dude, what did I tell you?
You said, nah, man, you got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
I said, keep your head in the game, right? And then so you got your first touchdown. The pass went through your teammate's Handler Henry, and you were able to catch it for a score.
Uh-huh.
And then your second pass, your second touchdown, what was that one like?
We just seen, like, they kept giving us a look where the safety would be way too over to the middle, and it was just giving me too much room. And I came off a couple of times, and I told Coach Smith that, and I told him what I was seeing, and then he had the confidence in me to run that play when we seen the look again, and just took advantage of it.
Absolutely, and that's what happens when you keep your mind in the game, your head in the game, and you take one play, it doesn't go the way you want to, you just shrug it off and go for the next. Absolutely. And then the third one, man, because I saw you over there, you were like 1, 2, 3. What kind of coverage did you see on that touchdown pass?
I mean, we were going. I mean, initially, I think we were trying to run that one in when we got inside the red zone. Like, we caught a couple of plays through the middle, but I mean, Coach sees it. It's too much green over there, and it's just me and the same kid I scored on twice.
Absolutely.
No disrespect, but
absolutely. No, it was good.
6.
I mean, 6 points, and so we had a couple of comments. Even one of the side judge over here was like, "Hey, number 11, he's a pretty decent receiver. He just needs a little bit more height." And then, folks were saying, some of your fan was like, I think you have a family member named Levi. He was saying, hey, the team does much better if Braden is getting the ball. So you got the ball 3 times tonight, fam. Yeah. And even your mom, who was, I guess, on vacation, she's somewhere.
Yeah, she's in Hawaii.
She's in Hawaii.
Shout out my mom. We made it.
She was watching. So, man, congratulations, man. Just keep your head in the game.
Yes,
you
sir.
never know what might happen,
yes,
right? Think positivity, not negativity.
Yeah.
And congratulations, man. Next week you got Venice. What kind of mindset will you go into the Venice game next week?
It's nothing but personal with that, bro. Like, I was a part of the team last year. Got 60 pieces, so there's no joking around this week with me. I'm standing on business. Let's go get him back.
Absolutely. So this is Mr. Braden Stanford, Mr. 1, 2, 3 touchdown passes tonight. Congratulations, man. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Of course.
This is Mr. Riley signing off from Westchester High. Well, we just won 37-6 over here against the Westchester Comets. All right. So thanks for watching. Go Pali.
Go Pali.
Yeah, again, just his attitude, man, trying to, encourage him, when he said, I'm a loser, I'm like, nah, dude, you got to pick your head up because number one, you're a team captain. And if you start spouting out negativity towards yourself, then, you don't want it to become infectious and the rest of the team gets it and, think they can't do what they need to do to win the game. And so, at that moment when I heard him say, I'm a loser, nah, bruh, you're not a loser. The play is over. Next play up. Talk about your boy Brady.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's nobody on earth that's harder on Braden than Braden. He's really hard on himself, but he expects the best out of himself, and I think that's what I appreciate him the most. He is really a good kid, and he works hard. He pushes the other kids to be great, and his leadership this year has been really. His growth as a leader has been really good to see each week. And not only is he working on his craft as a receiver, he's actually working on being a leader and a captain each week. So just overall, man, we just, me and him just talk on the side just about stuff and football. And, it's really joyful to have somebody like that on your team.
Yeah, and he even gave you some props. He's like, look, I told Coach, he must have went you. And the confidence for you, first of all, to have the players be able to come over and say, hey, I'm seeing some stuff over here. It's green pastures, right. Work a play for me. And then, for Roman and for Braden, again, to kind of team up and get those catches so that, we scoring touchdowns, man. It's a win-win situation for you. It's building up your confidence in him to
Yeah.
see things out there. He's coming back. Hey, you're making adjustments. You put him in the right spot. I mean, that's what winning is all about. And I know Braden's going to bring that tenacity on Friday against Venice. And so, shout out to Braden and just his mindset for, being a visionary, for seeing it and then bringing it to you. And then, you guys making an adjustment and making things happen.
Yeah, I mean, I played with the receiver who was open on every single play. Even in the huddle, he was open. So as a receiver, they always say they're open. But no. But I always tell the kids, I said, look, you're the ones on the field playing. I can only see so much from the sidelines. We can only see so much from up top. You're the ones that are playing. If there's anything you see, just come to me. I'll find a spot to call the play because you guys are seeing more than I can. So, that's always been open communication with me and the players. Like, if they see something, let me know. I'll call it. So it worked out this week.
It worked out last week, and so we went on to win. 37-6. Afternoon game. And those of you who are wondering why it was an afternoon game is because of due to the referee shortage that we had, and even I talked to Whitehead right after, or maybe at some point during the game, I was like, "Hey, you got another game after this?" He's like, "Yep." So for whatever, they're shuffling referees around, and so it was different to have a 4:00 varsity football game, but it was kind of nice having to not come home at 10:00 at night, and
Yes.
I can kind of relax a little bit, and I'm sure you did. You did too as well, Coach.
Yeah, I was probably in bed by 10:00, probably 9:30. So that was nice. That was very nice. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and turn our attention. That game was in the past. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to the rivalry week. And I should have kind of created some kind of graphic that said rivalry week, but hindsight is always 2020. Now our next game is Venice. This coming Friday, and so. Absolutely. Tanisha just saying, and all Pali families still show up for our boys. Absolutely. And it was packed over there at Westchester. Since we're about to leave Westchester, I'll just say this: I have a family friend whose son plays on the JV squad, and thankful. Just being grateful for the Pali QB club and what they provide for our boys. She was just saying she's she's not necessarily going in debt, but she's in arrears of $150-$200 because she's always trying to do her best to supply food for the boys, meals and things of that nature, and just the communication that her son receives, it's unlike ours. And so over here at Pali, we kind of spoiled. We have this kind of situation going on. And so just thank you, Pali QB Club, for making sure that you guys have the boys' best intentions in mind. And then also parents showed up and showed out. We probably have more supporters on the visitor side than there were on the Westchester side. So thank you guys for being there. And yes, Pali football families are always there. All right. So let's focus on Venice rivalry week, man. Last year was, we lost. We got our tails beat at home crazily. The boys remember, like Braden said. I know you said you're nervous. And I know you can't give up too much details, but this is your first Venice Pali football game, man. What are some of your thoughts? And maybe before you answer that question, do you remember in your playing days some of your rivalry games? And if you do, who were your rivals back when you played high school or even college?
Well, Venice was actually my rival. I went to Santa Monica High School, so Venice was actually our rival, and we kicked their butts every year we played them. So, I'm not a fan of Venice. Never will be. I respect the coaching staff. Don't get me wrong. I've known Angelo for a long time. When I went to Santa Monica College, he was working there, so I've known Angelo. So I respect what he's done. We're at Venice. Nothing personal with him at all. But yeah, just going to Santa Monica High School, having friends from Venice, having family members that live in Venice. It's just, Santa Monica Venice rivalry, and now that I'm at Pali, that rivalry is not going to change. So, also being at Santa Monica, Pali was my rival as well, but that's totally changed now. But yeah, Venice has always been a big rivalry of mine growing up. So, it's a big week for me as well.
Yeah, so you're up for the challenge because you've grown up in the rivalry, so you kind of know the
Yeah.
expectations of this particular game. And here's the main kicker right here, Coach. They're 3-0, we're 3-0,
Mhm. Yep.
and I mean, we don't want to. Let me see. Hold on. I know Venice really handedly beat University, right? And
Right.
we usually beat University. So I'm just going to say
Right.
that we'll probably beat University, right? So this might be for all the marbles for Western League champion right here. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Well, it is because whoever wins only has one loss. Everybody else has two losses. So even if we win and lose, we have the tiebreaker with Venice, vice versa. If they win and they lose to Fairfax, they're still gonna have the tiebreaker over. So this is literally for the league title Friday night. So it's a huge game. I've been stressing it all week to the team. This is literally our league championship right now. Doesn't matter what happened with Uni. We win this week, it's ours. So we got to come in focused. We got to come in ready right away. Um, start early while they're down. Keep them down. Keep our foot on their neck. So the kids are ready. They posted the score on all the guys on their back plates. Have this last year's score on there to remind everybody what happened. So kids are focused. Kids are ready. They're hungry, and they want another league title. So
Yeah, so I just pulled up some of our current stats, right? And so if you look now on paper, again, the data guy, right? This is Mr. Riley, the data guy. The data says on paper, we should win. So you can see the California rankings, you can see the section rankings. Right now in the city, we're ranked number 8, so they're ranked number 17. We really don't care too much about the California rankings because there are so many rankings or so many high school football teams in California. But here's some of the scoring averages. Again, looking at the data, 30 points for us, 18 points for them. Now, I think, like I said, they beat University 44 to something. So they have the capability of scoring a whole bunch of points. And then I'm trying to see if there's some other stats. Yeah, here's some team stat comparison. So rushing yards per game, Palisades 108, Venice 80. Passing yards 118 for us. They're passing 140. And so you see them right there. Total yards per game, we're kind of close, 227, 219 for Venice. And then you see the tackles and the points per game as well. Pancake blocks. We already talked about that. We're not going to beat a dead horse. And then here's some of the team leaders. So Terrell Watson, rushing yards, Max Carpenter. So again, Roman LaScala, 154 yards passing, Jaden Noel, 112 passing. So on paper, right, we got this. But we don't want our boys to get cocky and arrogant and think they got this in the bag, because they don't. Because what happens? They have to play the game, right, Coach?
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of upsets, seen a lot of, people say this team should win, this team has no chance. And that's the reason why we play. If that was the case, we would just have a bye week and we'd have a league championship and go on to uni. So this, like you said, there's a reason why we play every game, and we just have to be ready. Because I guarantee Venice is going to be ready, and they're going to want to kill us like they did last year. So we got to match that.
Yeah, and I believe, Coach, so here's another kicker. This is their homecoming game, right? So, it's their homecoming. It's I think they have a new track. They're 3-0. They have a chip on their shoulder, just like we should have a chip on our shoulder. So, it pans out to be that it's going to be a good game. And I think you kind of, talked about this a little bit, but I just want to make sure everyone understands. How do you keep our guys confident and humble at the same time, based on some of these numbers here, and just some of the rumors that are floating around about Venice not being that great like they were last year or in years before, how do you kind of keep the team kind of humble and really focused on themselves instead of thinking about all of the noise that they hear from their family, friends, from the players at Venice? How do you keep them humble and how do you keep them focused?
I just tell them we haven't done anything yet. I always say last year, excuse me, last year was last year. We haven't done anything yet this year. We're still 3-0, 6-2, but we still haven't won a championship, and that's the goal we're working towards. So we have to just keep getting better each week, not worry about what other people are saying, outside noise. I stress that all the time. We could talk about what we're doing all day, but we have to do it in practice and on the field. And just constantly remind them, like, I get it. We went to the championship last year. It's a totally different team, totally different mindset. It's a new system that you guys are learning. So we just, each day we just have to worry about ourselves, not worry about what people are saying. We haven't won anything yet, and that's what we're still working towards. So even if we do win Friday, when we win Friday, there's going to be something else we're working towards. So we can't just, rest on what we did with league. Now we have a city championship to work towards. So that's how I kind of keep focused with it.
Yeah, as you get to this point in the season, because this is week number 9. I mean, and the weeks just flew by like they do every single year. You start with week 0 and you go and you chug and you play and you lose and you do whatever you need to do. We're at week 9, and so now all the games that we've played before, the boys have had opportunity to kind of make that connection on the field. We know that they've connected off the field already. So now here's times when you move into the playoff season. Here's where the rubber hits the road. You have to be solid on offense, defense, special teams, because you're working towards that first goal, which is the Western League, and then the second goal to get better, get as best as you can or good as you can for the playoff situation that's going to happen. And it looks like,
absolutely. Sorry.
No. I was just going to say, and it looks like, according to what I saw here, it looks like we're ranked number 8 in the open division. If it holds up, because sometimes when you get to playoffs, they might bump you up to 7 or they might bump you back to 9, depending on Cal preps or whatever. So go ahead and finish your thoughts, sir. Coach. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with what you were saying, and where we are right now in the rankings, we're bottom of the open, or depending on how you want to rank us, beating Venice, we'll be top in the one division, but regardless, we just have to handle our own business at this point.
Absolutely. No, it's a wonderful position to be in, and everyone is always saying, like Tom said earlier, I don't know if he's still watching, but he said it earlier. And let me go ahead and bring it up again. There it is. Bring it up again for Tom. He said, I'll say it again, beat Venice. It's all that matters. And so, this is a great game, a great position for the boys to be in. And hopefully we'll have a different outcome than we had last year.
I don't see a 60-14 Venice victory. We'll flip it, and hopefully it's 60-14 for us. Kids been talking about putting 60 up all year, so hopefully this is the week. But I just, I feel, although I'm nervous, I feel good about the game, just because of how hungry the kids are and how they want revenge from last year. So
absolutely,
that makes me feel a little bit better.
Tom says, I'm here. He said beat Venice, but then he corrected. And I know, I get it, man. He meant to say beat Venice. No, I get it, man. Tom was a Pali football parent, and he was on our Pali QB board. And so he knows fully
Nice.
well what's going on with Venice. Having his son TJ on the squad, one of our nose tackles, I believe. Man, those are good times, and Tom could tell you the time
Nice.
that we beat Venice in the 2016 season after losing. I think it was 16 straight years to Venice, and just the
Oh wow.
exuberation, yeah, just the exuberation that was expressed that night. I mean, it was like tears, and the boys were excited and
Nice.
happy, jumping up and down. I mean, I had my still camera at the time, so I was, capturing
Mhm.
photos, and I might have, I need to see if that game is still on our Pali Facebook page. Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. It was 19 losses in a row, not 16.
19. Oh, wow.
So yeah, it
Wow.
was it was just crazy. I mean, parents were going nuts. They flooded the field. It was just a
Oh
wonderful.
wow.
Yeah, it was a wonderful win, because the
Nice.
win took place at Venice, so that's kind
Right.
of what made it sweeter.
That's
And then I remember another time that we beat Venice at Venice. I think it was either 2 years later. Um, my second son's team, the first oldest boy, his team won, the 2016 season, they won at Venice. And then 2 years later, this game, now, Coach, this is crazy because this game took place over 2 days. So the first 7 o'clock game, it started to rain and thunder, and so that night a whole bunch of games were either called or canceled or whatever. So the next day, the coaches agreed to reconvene and pick up where they left off. It wasn't going to happen, but it did. And
uh,
so Forrest Brock and the boys put together another nice win, and it happened to be on their homecoming again. And they were so
nice.
irate and angry that the players were shouting obscenities. I mean,
Oh,
it was just, it was almost like they wanted to fight the parents and the players. We had to run out of there almost run for our
wow.
lives because they had their homecoming right there in their gymnasium. They,
Uh,
the homecoming dance had already started, right?
oh my goodness.
So it was just crazy, right? It was just crazy.
Wow.
So, and then here's the last one. Here's the last one I remember. Um, just to show you how this rivalry is so crazy. So
Uh,
during this season, I think it was the season after. Um, it could have been the 2019 season, I believe. Um, but yeah, our boys, the Friday nights, the game was canceled. It was canceled due to fire. So the teams agreed
uh,
to play on the next Monday. So we had a Monday night high school football game. It was at
oh my
Pali.
goodness.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It was at Pali, and it was. I know that game was on our Facebook page, man. It was a wonderful game, man. On the first do a Monday afternoon, I
That's
think the game was
crazy.
at 3 or 4 o'clock. It was great, and we won that game again. So,
Wow.
um,
Nice.
yeah, it was just so I know fully well. I've experienced the ups and downs as it relates to this Venice rivalry.
Wow.
Tom says we got our kicked on Friday night, and Saturday afternoon where's the rest of the we destroyed them. Barely got the bus out of Venice. Okay. So you can't see the rest of it. I can see. Let me see if I can. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So yeah, it was wonderful, wonderful times over there in Venice. And so we're going to have another one this coming Friday. So we encourage everyone to come out. Coach, what are some of your last words about this rivalry and just, preparing the boys for what's going to take place, which might eventually be the Western League Championship game for this season?
Hmm. Um, it's going to be a great game, like I say every week. But I think this really is going to be a good game. It's going to be a challenge for us. I don't want to look at their record and how everybody's saying how down they are because with Venice, you never know. And rivalry week doesn't matter who you are, how bad you are. You're always going to get up for that rival. So they're going to be ready. Their fans are going to be loud. I hope our fans match that same energy. I mean, it's just in a peaceful way. But it's going to be a very exciting game, and this is for the league championship. We got 0 losses. Everybody else has at least 2, so this is the league championship. So we definitely have to take this one and celebrate on their home field, and then get ready for senior night. So I'm really looking forward to Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful game, Coach. And I'm over here actually trying to, pull up, trying to find some of those games. Just not necessarily for this broadcast, but just to reminisce and nostalgia, just to put a smile on my face. And yeah, man, it was it was just a great time of winning. Tom Michael says, "Good luck, Coach. Take no prisoners, and I'm sure Coach Smith has our boys ready, prepared. It's going to be a balanced act of running and passing. Of course, our special teams, we need to have them to have a good game this football this Friday for us to win. And so I know Coach is going to put them, not only Coach Smith, but the rest of the coaching staff is going to put our boys in a good position to win. Coach, thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you. Do me a favor. I'm gonna go ahead and close out the show, and I'll do what we normally do. I'll come back afterwards and finish out the show. So thank you for hopping on with us tonight, and I really, really appreciate it.
No, always a pleasure. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So that was Coach Smith. Man, he has the boys ready, and we're just looking forward to being part of the the festivities. I'm definitely gonna put up some of these games on the Pali High Facebook page just to kind of put another little smile on my face for the next couple of I'll probably look at a couple tonight and maybe some tomorrow as I mentally prepare for this football game as well. I'm not playing. I'm too old to play. I don't think I have any eligibility to play, but it's going to be a good time this coming Friday. So I encourage you guys to come on out. And if you didn't catch us on the top half of the show, let me just go ahead and remind you about what's going down. So again, week 10, which is next week. Next week we have senior night. Tom knows all about senior night. I know about senior night. Come on out. Be a part. If you're a parent, we want you there as early as 6:15, definitely by 6:30. So please, 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 it's very important to be there. Show up for your son, and so that we can celebrate their accomplishments, as being a part of the Pali football team this season. And then next, here we go. Of course, again, we talk about the game this week, and October 20th, Venice High School JV at 4 p.m. and varsity at 7 p.m. over at Venice High School. And so hopefully hopefully you'll kind of come over and hang out with us, and we're going to have some fun doing what we normally do as parents. And, if you haven't done so already, why don't you do me a favor and whether you're watching on YouTube, you can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This Week in Pali Football, that's where a lot of our videos and games are kept. And, I might even download some games from from previous Venice football games and upload them over to our YouTube channel. So go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell in case you want to be notified when we go live. And then, of course, we have some content over here at TikTok. And so, you know what? I need to get a little bit better with posting some information over there. But we do have a TikTok channel. And then, of course, you can follow us on Instagram at Pali HS Football. And you can see some of the good content that we're creating over there. So other than that, I am Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast. I appreciate you guys hopping on and vibing with us. Again, if you're watching live, thank you for your support. If you're catching the replay, go ahead and put in hashtag replay squad. That way we know that you kind of took a peek at what we had to offer tonight. All right. So on behalf of Coach Smith, I am Mr. Riley, and I'm about to close out the show. Coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thank you, Maureen, for being here, and we will catch you Friday night on the sidelines at Venice High School. Thanks for watching. Take care, and as always, go Pali.